are going to continue exactly where we left off, page 159b, Daf Kuf Nun Tet Amud Bet. We were talking a little bit about interpreting the words that when Hashem sent the spies, when Moshe sent the spies into the land, there's the text, what Moshe Rabbeinu was ordering them to do, and we're taking that text and then explaining it in a little bit of a twist. So very briefly what we were talking about, when it says, send for yourself spies, men, so that's to investigate, and really the word latur is not to investigate, but rather to go and to check out, as they say. He says, no, it's referring to the world above. Because if a person would know, guarantee, no question, no doubts, what's waiting for him in the world above, or after this life, his way, how this person would conduct his life would be completely different. But we don't really know what's going up there. We have an idea. We try to believe. So Hashem says, why don't you go and check out what's going on up there? That will be a pretty big key to your way of thinking and how you will conduct your life. You would think 50 times before you do something. So when the text says go and search the land, go and investigate the land, so we explain it, that's go and investigate the world to come, the spiritual world. And we were talking about, I don't want to really repeat, the video is recorded, you can see the recording. But now we stopped in the middle, so now I learned a new term that leaving somebody on the cliff, or the whatever it says, cliffhanger. So we left you on the cliff again. We stopped by saying three words, Ha'am ha'yoshvim alea. Remember? And he says, go and look at the land and check out the nation that is dwelling or sitting on her, on the land. And we concluded, why did he say three ways to check and three letters? Because the tzaddikim, the righteous people who go to Gan Eden, he defined it as shurin, standing in rows, bikare ila'ah, with great honor and respect from the world above, bedargin ilayin, in different levels, but in high levels. This is where we concluded. Now we're going to continue, and the line starts with hechazak hu harafeh. When its text says, go and look at the nation that is there, look if the nation is strong or if the nation is weak. That's physically what the spies were looking, but he says that, okay, let's look at it in a different way. Ba techemu I zachu lechol hai kad atkafu al yetzrehon vetevru le. Come and see. If the righteous person, then that they gain and they work and they get all this honor and the respect, I mean, one day will happen that we're all going to meet in the world above, and we might have name tags, and we'll be like a reunion from the high school. Hey, how are you? A few years ago, my grade, I don't know how you call it, you see my grade, my class, we all turned 40. So, not that I'm 40, it was 5 years ago. But, so they made a class reunion. Class. I mean, the high school where I was, there was 25 classes, but it was the whole class. So, the whole grade. So they made a reunion. So what did they do? They made a Facebook group. And they added everybody into the Facebook group. And everybody started posting pictures from trips, from parties. So I started posting pictures. And everybody was like, who are you? And I was like, what do you mean, who am I? I'm the one who punched you in your face every day. What do you mean, who am I? So everybody's like, what? You? So literally the Bart Simpson of the school, I was like the one who's the screws were not tightened there, and then I'm coming like with the beard, and nobody recognized me. So why am I saying that? In Shammai, we're also going to have a high school reunion. Hey! Now in this world, we see a beard and a yarmulke and all this. We think it's pious individuals. And then we see the ones that we don't really give them much credit. In the world above, suddenly you'll see like, whoa, you? Yeah. So we are going to have some type of a reunion, and the tzaddikim, the real tzaddikim, they're going to give a lot of honor and respect. But why? Michamat she'itgabru al yitzram, because they're able to overpower and overcome their desire, their yetzer, their inclination. Now, not only did they overpowered it, v'shabru oto, they broke it. It's a big level. Klomar, what does it mean? שמקבלים שכרם בעבור עזיבת החטא. What is the reward? Is the fact that they prevented from sin. Now, azivat achet is not that I'm stopping myself from sinning, is that when I have a sin that I repeat it, and then I let go. If I do a once in a blue moon sin, okay, happened. You know, moment of weakness, you didn't notice what's going on, shogeg, by mistake. But many of us have some sins that are a habit, and it's repetitive. And you know it's a sin, and you know it's bad, and you know it's going to dig to you a pit to go to Gehenom. You can't leave it because you're already stuck there. But finally, after years, finally you're able to make some type of a maneuver, and with great assistance from above, you leave the sin. This is called azivat achet, that I left the sin. This is kind of equivalent to a drug addict that goes to rehab and he lives the drugs. You know what? For 20 years he will be clean. He will tell you that he's an addict. I'm an addict. Yeah, I'm clean for 20 years, but I'm an addict. Why? Because it's always there, any given moment that can fail again. Same thing here. Sometimes we are addicted to sins. But nevertheless, when you're able to leave the sin, this is called azivat achet, that I left it after 20 years. Then, in the world above, this is very high level. Ila, saying, it's not that they had to also only overpower their desire. That's one thing. You know, I told you, we spoke about yesterday about the shmirat einayim, the guarding of the eyes, which is really the key to all the problems. If you know how to guard your eyes, then you don't put yourself in dangerous situations. By default, your thoughts will be pure. By default, you'll be able to guard the brit. By default, you'll be able to be kadosh, because you're guarding the eyes. Same thing with the mouth, by the way. You know how to guard your mouth? What did we just read before in Perek Shira? Shomer pivu leshono, shomer mitzarot nafsho. This is one of the first rules that I was taught when I became observant. Shomer pivu leshono, the one who guards his mouth and his tongue, shomer mitzarot nafsho, is guarded from the tzarot, from the problems that come and will afflict his nefesh, his soul. Key note. Here it says, לא שהוצרכו להתגבר על יצרם. Not that they had to overpower the yetzer. You know, to overpower the yetzer, the desire, the inclination, it's not so simple. To walk in the street and you see something right in front of you, and you like, your head goes there, but the eye, let go. Let go, put the eyes down. It's going to pass. It's nothing important there. But to overpower your yetzer, you need to be a very powerful individual. To a point that the Mishnah says, Ezu a gibor, who's a gibor, a hero? Shekovesh et yitzro, that is able to overpower his yetzer, called a hero. But here he says, it's not that he's only referring that he was able to overpower the yetzer. You know, that's easier said than done, but many of us can overpower the yetzer 100 times. But the 101st time, the yetzer hara will come with a, I don't know how you say with a hook, right? How do you say it? That's how you call it? Yeah. With a hook, poof, you don't even notice, and you're on the floor. But אלא זכו לעולם הבא כי ברפיון בלי יגיעה. The ones who merit to the world above, it's because there was a lot of hard work to be able to live the sin. או כד התקפו באורייתא למילאי בה יממה ולילה. Now, one type of reward that we get in the world above is when you leave the sin. And Hashem knows exactly what's going on. Don't think you can fool anybody, and especially not Hashem. And don't think that something's wrong with you, by the way, if you have a certain habit, or a certain sin, or a certain desire, because Hashem gave it to you to see if you're going to overpower it. Not because you're sick or because you're bad or he's punishing you. Hashem says, here's a Yetzer Hara, now let's see if you're overpowered. But this is one type of reward, that you overpower your Yetzer Hara, your desire. Here he says, no, there's also another type of reward, that you receive a reward in the world above. Why? Because you were going from strength to strength in the Torah to work. It says the word la'asok. Aramaic, it says atkafu. Atkafu is that you dealing with it like a business. Esek is a business. That the Torah is your business. It's not like a side job. But that the Torah is part of your life and you deal with the Torah day and night. All day long. And the Torah is your life. You attend classes, you come to minyanim, you constantly focused on every little halacha that you learn. The Torah is your life. It's a business. Why does it say business? Because when a person is an employee, he cares about nothing. Comes at 9, does his job, 5 o'clock, and 3 seconds, nothing there. But the Baal Esek, the business owner, if he comes at 4 in the morning, leaves at 10 o'clock at night, every mistake here can cost him a lot of money. Same thing the Torah has to be dealt like a business. So when a person does the Torah business, then he also gets a huge reward, because it's not so easy to be devoted to the Torah. It's very easy to put a yarmulke on, but it's very hard to be devoted to the Torah. But devoted, real devoted. So he says that's also a type of reward that one will get in the world to come. Or, another one, even, or another option is that a person doesn't let go from the Torah. Sometimes a person, I know many people like that. Listen, it's all of us at some point. We have the desire, we have the will, we want. But it's like, you go 2 steps forward, boom, 4 steps back. 4 steps forward, 10 steps back. Doesn't matter what you try to do. It's like the Yetzer Hara is like a heavy load. It's like wearing you off at some point. And what is the etzah? What is the advice? Don't let go. You're going to fail 5,000 times. But the real failure is when you let go. If you don't let go, you didn't fail. You fought. That's a huge difference between failing and fighting. Now, there's a very good chance that in your fight, you're going to lose 1,000 times. But you know when you really lose? When you let go from the fight. If you didn't let go from the fight, you're not a loser. You are a fighter. So he says here, another great reward is when you are a fighter. You have to engrave it in your mind, I am not a loser, because the Yetzer Hara, excuse me, he's such a, I can't say all sorts of not nice words. We'll call him a shmegeg. He knows how to kick you in your private part. Oh, you fall on the floor. Now he laughs at you that you're on the floor. I mean, you fight dirty and then you're laughing at me, and then he will spit on you and kick on you when you're on the floor. That's how the Yetzer works. So he's going to call you a loser when you're on the floor. And you know what? Most people believe it. Yeah, I'm a no good for nothing. I tried and tried and tried. It didn't work. But the point is to understand that you are a loser when the second that you don't want to fight anymore. I can't do this anymore. That's why you need a real good personal trainer to tell you you're not a loser. You are a fighter. And don't stop fighting, because the fight was going to take another 40 years, by the way. Don't think that you're going to stop here or in a few weeks that you're done with the fight. So you have to already program in your mind, I'm not a loser, I'm a fighter. And the fight is going to be till the day I die. By the way, till your last breath, you are a fighter. So he's giving us a few options. How do you get reward in the world to come? And the real reward is when you fight. You don't let go. You do your job. So he says is even if you lose, but don't let go. Now he says, "V'shema tomar shekaseh likanes ba." Now one can say, let's say I somehow figure out what's going on in Gan Eden. But one can say, who am I to go into Gan Eden? When I became observant, and I would look at other people and I would be like, wow, I'll never be like them. Look how they pray and how they, it's like, how do you say, they make it look easy. Needless, little did I know that the external looks very pious, but the inside was not that great. But nevertheless, I would look and I would be like, I'll never be in that level. I will never reach such a level. So it says, "V'shema tomar shekashe likanes ba." Maybe you have a doubt, and that's another doubt that the Yetzer Hara is going to tell you. No, step back. There's no chance. You're not getting there. ורק אחדים בדור זוכים אליה. And only very few people in the generation will merit to go into Gan Eden. So it says as follows. Here, please pay attention. המעטו עם רב. And then, this is the text from the Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu tells the spies, go and search the land, see the nation that is dwelling on the land, and what's the first thing he says? Hachazaku harafeh. Is he strong or is he weak? So we just now explained what's the nation that dwells in Gan Eden? Who are the ones who are going to dwell in Gan Eden? The one who is strong in the fight or the one who's weak in the fight? Don't count the sins. Count the success. Don't count how many times you failed. Count how many times you succeeded. Because you're going to fail 1,000 times. One time you were able to overpower, that's it. You are considered a winner. And throughout the way, you are a fighter. It doesn't matter if you lose so many times. This is hachazak harafeh. Are you strong? How many punches can you get? You fall down, you get up. Fall down, get up. The point is to get up, not to stay on the ground. So he's makish it there. He's saying, hachazak harafeh. Are you strong or are you weak? Now, what's the next thing that he says? Because a lot of people say, I'll never be this pious that will go into Gan Eden. I'm a rasha merusha. So he takes the text and he says, Hame'atu, is he a little bit or rav, or a lot? And again, when we're looking at the text, Moshe Rabbeinu told the spies, look at the nation. Are there a lot? Are they going to outnumber us? Or are there a little bit? Because if they're a little bit, the fight will be easy, which is not always the case. Sometimes a lot, it's hard, they're not necessarily stronger. What is he saying here? In other words, he says, Hainu, isagin inun deishtadlu bepulchane. If there were many pious people, many tzaddikim that would really work hard and try to follow the Torah, ve'atkifu be'oraita begin dezachu lechol hai, and they would get stronger and stronger in the Torah. Why? Bishvil shezachu lechol ze, because they earned it. Ilav. If this is the case, lo hayu harbe tzaddikim. Maybe there wouldn't be so many tzaddikim. Why? Ki kashe likanes ba, because it's hard to get into Gan Eden. Saying in other words, bevadai kshetilmedu Torah, guarantee to you, when you're going to learn Torah, תראו שיש בעולם כמה אלפים רבבות צדיקים לומדי תורה זוכים לגן עדן. If you learn Torah, you will learn to see that there are many people that are in a level of a tzaddik, and I'm not talking about now Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. I'm talking about us, that we can easily get to a level of a tzaddik if you work hard, but there are many. It's not that there's a little bit that one can say, only the Baba Sali of the generation, he has a ticket to Gan Eden. Who says? Maybe you can do. I told you already, tzaddik, I'm not talking about the tzaddikim, the real tzaddikim, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Aryeh Kadosh, and so forth. Us, simple people, can also be called tzaddikim. Why? Because if I win the case, yatzat tzodek badin. I won the case. So I'm a tzodek, I'm a tzaddik. Besides, if you remember last year, we would learn every day a little bit of the teachings of Rabbi Elimelech from Lizhansk, from the Noam Elimelech. And he always kept referring to everybody as tzaddikim. And I kept saying, he's talking about us. He's not talking about other tzaddikim. That's how he would talk. He would talk as to refer to us as a tzaddik. So just know, lo b'shamayim here. The Torah is not in the heavens. This is something you can achieve. Now, if you believe in yourself, you can reach to high levels. If you think from the beginning there's no chance, then you're marking yourself as a loser. Saying, in other words, to conclude this paragraph, it's all in your mind. If you say in your mind, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I can get there, why would something stop you from getting there? This is a mind frame of a winner. I'm not giving up. Now he continues, Ma ha'aretz What is this land that you are going to look? Hashmenahi, is it fat, or it's not the right word, shmena. Shmena in Hebrew is fat, but shmena really comes, is it fertile? Is it thick? Is it rich? Come from shamenet, from shuman, from luscious and big. Imraza, maybe it's skinny and worthless. And again, this is the text from the Torah, and Moshe Rabbeinu tells the spies, Hashmena here, is there an abundance there? Or is it like a skinny land, like some place in Africa that there's barely anything going on there? Hainu, meaning, Hainu means, it means, Mideoraita tindeon, from the Torah, you will know what is this land. And when it's saying the word land, it's talking about Gan Eden. Hainu, hahu alma. What is this world? Hainu Gan Eden, anikra eretz hachaim. What is this place that we're striving to get? Gan Eden. But this Gan Eden, this is the land of the living. You know that this is not the land of the living, by the way. We are in the land of the dead. The world above is the land of the living. We're dead here. So, this is again, it's all reversed. Now he says, Mahahu Alma, what is this world above? This is Gan Eden. This is called the land of the living. I asgeitivu ila'a leyatvaha. If a person has a lot of chesed, getting a lot of chesed from the world above, if a person gets a lot of chesed from the Kadosh Baruch Hu, kindness, the ones who are dwelling there, or the person doesn't get any chesed from that the righteous people get. In Gan Eden, you can only experience the kindness and the chesed of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You want to see, is the land up there fertile, or maybe it's better to say in an abundance, or not? If the tzaddikim get a lot of kindness from the Kadosh Baruch Hu, then it will be an abundance there. Our quest right now is what goes on in the world above. Because if I'm going to be convinced what's going on in the world above, that will totally change the way of me looking in this world. Let's just do another paragraph. How are we doing? Let's do another paragraph and see how we can continue. Hayesh ba'etz o ayin. Is there a tree there or not? If you remember, we started the ma'amar that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to know if there's a tree. He wasn't referring to an apple tree. He was referring to the tree of life. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to know if the tree of life is in the land of Israel. If the tree of life is in the land of Israel, he knew that he's going to go in. If the tree of life is not, I'm talking about the land, he knew he's not going to go in. And we elaborated on that in the first classes. I don't want to continue, but nevertheless, he's quoting now the text. Is there a tree there or not? What's interesting is that he says, Hayesh ba'etz, is there a tree there? Technically, should it say, or lo, or not? But it says, im ayin. Is there a tree or ayin? Ayin, this is a very high level in Kedusha. Chochma, me'ayin timatzeh. Chochma, which we count it as the highest of all sfirot underneath Keter, where does Chochma come from? From a high spiritual place. It's called ayin, a place of nothingness. So he says, is there a tree in the land of Israel? Or maybe there's ayin there, maybe a high level, a greater level of Shekhinah. Saying in other words, and of course, when it's talking about the land, we're talking about Gan Eden. Ha'it ba ilana dechaye le'alam u'le'olamei almin. Is there the tree of life in there that I can eat from it for eternity? Because what do we eat in this world? How do we sustain ourselves in this world? We need food. So, if I need to eat something in this world, Adam and Chava were commanded to eat trees. Not like in our generation that people eat hamburgers. Adam and Chava, they ate from kol ha'etz shebagan. Eat from where you find any tree you find there, eat. Just don't eat from that tree. But don't go out and start making yourself barbecues and fishing and all sorts of other creatures. You know, even in the beginning, till the flood of Noach, nobody was allowed to eat meat. After the flood of Noach, they were allowed to eat meat, and they were also allowed to eat fish. Before that, they weren't even allowed to eat fish. Only because the fish had a little bit of a merit because they survived in the water, then they had, so to say, what's the opposite of superiority? inferiority of humans, so they're allowed to be eaten by Adam. But really, the original menu was fruit. And that's what's going to happen very soon when Mashiach comes, by the way. Don't think you're going to have steakhouses when Mashiach comes. Better to start getting ready for it now. And I know that people argue on that because they say, so how is that going to be? If you're saying we're going to become vegetarians when Mashiach comes, but we know we have a Bet HaMikdash, and Bet HaMikdash is going to be sacrifices. So what he's saying, the sacrifices are going to be cancelled? So first of all, in the beginning, we're still going to have animal sacrifices, but in later days of Mashiach, the sacrifices will remain, but they're going to be vegetation sacrifices. Solet, mincha, oil. Solet means flour. Mincha, all sorts of different grains. Shemen will be oil. So we're not going to have any animals anymore. I mean, we learned that from a pasuk. A lot of people say, where do you bring this from? So the original state was Gan Eden. So and how do we say that Mashiach is going to come? V'tachzienu leGan Eden mikedem. Bring us back to how it was originally in Gan Eden. When we used to send my kids to school, they used to teach them that when Mashiach comes, they're going to eat treats. There's going to be a lot of treats, and they're going to be on the trees. So my kids think they're going to get lollipops or whatever it is. And I kept telling them, no, the fruits that are going to be growing on trees are going to be such treats. You're going to taste an apple. I mean, we're going to go crazy from the taste of the fruit that we're going to pull from the tree. It's not going to look like the fruit now. Last year I was in America, and I had a day where I took a lot of meetings. So the lady that was doing all my meetings, I kept telling her, bring me a cup of water, and I told her, bring me a lemon. She says, why lemon? I says, I want to put lemon in the cup, in the water. And then I would squeeze the lemon and tell her, give me another lemon. And she was like, why? He says, these lemons, they don't have tastes. You know, the lemons in America, all the fruit in America, it's like plastic. Here in Israel, I put 3 drops. Ooh, you're like... So, really the fruit, what we have even now, it's empty. Mashiach is going to come. Ma'adanim yimatzu ke'afar. Ma'adan is like a treat. It's like a delicacy. So it says ma'adanim yimatzu ke'afar. Delicacies are going to be available like the ash, the dust on the floor. Why? Because how many trees do we have now? As we live, probably a few hundreds, right? Types. Maybe even more. And I'm not what? I'm not what? A botanist, whatever. So I don't know how many trees there are. There are many trees, but how many trees bear fruit? A few dozens. When Mashiach is going to come, all the trees are going to bear fruit. All the trees that are now, I think it's called barren trees. That's how at least it's called in Hebrew. Barren trees that don't bring fruit. All the trees are going to have fruit. Just imagine how many new species we're going to have. So ma'adanim yimatzu ke'afar, delicacies everywhere. We're just going to go and pull out something and it's going to be like a unbelievable taste. So, going back to what we're talking, we're totally sidetracked from the excitement from very soon. Instead of going to the supermarket and with a plastic card, we're just going to go out and pull fruit off the trees, and that's it. Like it was originally, Migan Eden Bekedem, how it was in Gan Eden originally. So, I don't know how we got to the trees, but we were talking about that Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to know if there's the tree of life. Here, he takes it to a twist. I'll read again. Ha'it ba ilana dechaye le'alam ule'olmei almin. Is there the tree of life in there that whoever eats from it would live for eternity? Ooh, that would be kind of cool to live for eternity, no? Saying in other words, im me'ira bo he'arat zir anpin hanikra etz chaim. In Gan Eden, what is shining there? Is the shine of zir anpin shining there, which the zir anpin is called etz chaim? Or that Chas v'Shalom is the opposite over there. Because I told you already, this is the land of the dead. Up there is the land of the living. It's not fun, all this whole death thing. So he's wanting to know, he's taking it to a different place, is the tree of life shining in the world above or the Malchut? Because the Malchut is very limited shine. Saying in other words, Ve'etz, Rashi Tevot, what is the acronym of Etz, Ayin Tzadik? Etz means Etz Tzeror. Hinting to us, either you have Etz or either you have Tzeror. Either you have an Etz, which means a tree, which blossoms and grows, or Tzeror means the complete opposite. To hint on both of them. Im love, if there isn't the shine, maybe there's no shine there. Do you see any shine over here? And I'm not talking about the shine of the sun. A he'ara, a godly revelation. So he wants to know if there is or isn't. Because in this world there's barely any godly revelation. In the world above, there is a godly revelation. It's called the he'ara, a godly shine. So he concludes here, and this is where we're going to leave us again on a cliff. The research that one needs to do is what is the spiritual shine that is in this world compared to the world above. And the reason why he's saying that, by the way, because many people say, let me live, let me enjoy my life. I don't believe that there's a life after. Let me enjoy every moment here. This is a very limited way of looking at the universe, by thinking that I'm only here for 67 years. But this is one way of limitation. A lot of people, they don't realize that I'm not here to tour in the physical world. I'm here to prepare the world to come. And every moment here, I can pave the way to a better place in the world to come. For that, a person needs to take that every moment here is a diamond. I saw once a slogan that it says something about, I don't remember, something living in the past, living in the future, but living in the present is a present. Yeah, a gift. Because every moment here that you are wasting, you could have grabbed something. Smart people, they take advantage of their time in this world because the present is a gift. Living in the past, I don't remember how the slogan went. It was pretty smart.
Yesterday is history.
Yesterday is history.
Tomorrow is a mystery.
Tomorrow is a mystery.
But right now is a true gift.
And that right now is a true gift.
That's why it's called the present.
That's why it's called the present. Beautiful. So, not to be stuck on the past, not to ponder on the future, live in the present. And the present is a moment that you can grab a mitzvah, or chas v'shalom, dig yourself a hole that you lose your entire olam haba with one wrong syllable, one wrong word. You can mess up your entire eternity. So focus on the present. What can I do in this present? How much chesed can I do? How much kindness can I do? How much Torah can I learn? How much I can apply something in this world? Because you don't know when it's ending. This is literally, we are walking in a field of diamonds. And Hashem is telling us, just grab whatever you can. Grab and grab, and you're grabbing diamonds here. And at some point, these diamonds are going to be shining for eternity. So we got to really focus on what we're doing here. Don't waste your time on nonsense. Some people sit in front of a computer screen for hours. What did you lose there? You lost your life. That's what it does. It's like a vacuum cleaner. And it sucks people in. So you got to really be focused on every moment and live in the moment to understand how much you can achieve. Ezrat Hashem, with that, we win Chayei Olam Haba, the life, the eternal life of the world to come. רבי חנניה בן הקשה אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיכך הרבה להם תורה ומצוות, שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.